Let's now proceed to the 23rd chapter, Principles of Literary Criticism, which is the Tolstoy's infection theory. According to I.A. Richards, your work of art was not the record of beauty already existent elsewhere, but the expression of an emotion felt by the artist and conveyed to the spectator. So according to this particular theory, a work of art is not just the reflection of something, whereas it is the feeling and emotion that is felt by the writer and that is expressed on this idea. Tolstoy's give the idea of infection theory. According to him, art becomes more or less in fictions is consequence of three conditions. So there are three conditions in which a work of art will be influencing others. How? The first one is in sequence of the greater or lesser peculiarity of the sensation conveyed, which means an idea is ordinary, definitely that will not be artistic. For example, in a newspaper, they say something like this: if the dog bites you, it is not a news. Instead, it must be if you bite the dog, then that becomes a news. That's peculiarities of the sensation conveyed means. If the author conveys a strange sensation, strange experience in a stranger way, then definitely that gives the artistic experience. The next one is in consequence of a greater or lesser clearness of the transmission of this sensation. The clearness of the transmission means once the writer conveys the experience, that should be conveyed in a clear-cut way. If the author has got any confusion in the vehicle of transmission. For example, if the language is not good, if the language is not artistic, and if the language is confused, then definitely the idea of the artist cannot be conveyed. And if a work of art was got clearness of transmission, so this is also about the first one, which is about experience, and this is about the transmission. If there is clarity in transmission, definitely it will be infecting others. The last one or the third one is in consequence of sincerity of the artist, that is, of the greater or lesser force with which the artist himself experiences the sensation which he is conveying. Example, the writer must be put in mind that is very important in a writer that unless he experiences that strangeness, unless he enjoys what he conveys, so it cannot be conveyed properly. That is why it is said which the artist himself must experience the sensation which he conveying. So they experience that is experienced by the writer should be conveyed to the maximum, should be conveyed as it is. If there is anything lesser if anything that is more, definitely that artistic experience cannot be complete. So if we convey these particular points in Tolstoy's in fiction theory, there are three occasions or conditions in which an art will become in fictions. To sum up Tolstoy's infection theory is very simple. Just under the three occasions or conditions, it will be infectious. So don't be misled by the word infection, because it is a season of so many diseases. So infection, it is a positive influence.